Good morning, everybody. My name is Calvin Goom. I'm the VP of EMEA for LeapXpert. Next to me is Darshan Kandola. He'll be running the demo for you. Our proposition is all about how your clients want to communicate with you over many different rich messaging channels like WhatsApp, WeChat, iMessage, SMS, etc. This has become a pervasive way in which your clients want to communicate with you, the banks. However, the regulators are now starting to clamp down on the use of these messaging apps. The recent fine for JP Chase, $200 million, and a number of other global institutions have all been, or investigations are taking place within their business at the moment. So what we're going to show you today is how we can enable you to embrace the use of messaging in a compliant and regulated way. There's three things I want you to take away from today's demonstration. Number one is that through a single pane of glass, we will allow your employees to communicate with any of their clients over whatever channel that they want to use. Now, most of these channels are linked to geography. So WeChat is the most common platform in China. WhatsApp is common in Europe. iMessage is common in North America. But you don't have to worry about that anymore. What you want is a single pane of glass to be able to communicate to any client, whatever platform they're using. So that's takeaway number one. Takeaway number two is how do you govern and secure and authenticate that channel? Because obviously this is now an official business communication. How do you ensure the governance and the compliance of this message transaction and these message histories? And thirdly, wouldn't it be wonderful if rather than you having to deploy a brand new application into your business, you can just integrate with technologies like Microsoft Teams, which you are probably, or Slack, which you've probably already invested in as a business today. So there are the three things I would like to share with you. So firstly, let's show you through the single pane of glass of messaging. So in the middle of the screen is representing a client, an employee, like yourselves. On the left-hand side of the screen is the same, that's their mobile device. On the right-hand side of the screen is the client. All right, so this is the configuration we're trying to show you. So you establish these lines of communication by selecting your contact, choosing your channel of preference, your channel of choice to communicate with them on, whether that be WhatsApp, WeChat, Line, Signal, Telegram, iMessage, whatever it may be. What we're able to do is import all of this information from the CRM tools that you are using. So rather than you having to do all this manually, you can set all this up through an import through your CRM platform. Once set up, all we're ever doing is using the official communications channels in place. We use the official APIs from all the vendors. All right, this is really important, and we use the business accounts on behalf of these different messaging platforms because your employees want to separate between their personal communications with their friends and family and their business communications. All right, very important that you have that separation between the two parts of the organization. Then the conversations can flow naturally. The client receives a notification, we authenticate, we accept, we have disclaimers, we have all kinds of messages that come in between your employee and the client to ensure the authentic connection is created. And all of these can be branded for your institution. What's really important, however, is the client experience is native. So they're not using anything different. They're using the native application that they love to use in their country or in their preference. So that's the messaging side of things. So let's look at how do we ensure regulatory compliance? How do we govern these channels? So one of the things that we've built into our application is very detailed security protocols in support of the other encryption that all the messaging platforms are using. We've also got implementations that we've tried already around the authentication. And then finally is implementations around ethical walls, information barriers, and DLP. So built into our platform is a DLP engine, for example, that enables you to take your internal libraries or use our own capability to establish banned words and phrases and stop these messages being sent by your employees. So we're helping you to govern and secure that channel of communication. Everything's captured in the audit logs to enable you then to archive that information into your standard archiving platforms and surveillance platforms that you're using, like Enterprise Vault or Global Relay or Smarsh or many of the other technologies that are out there that you're already using. So that shows us how we can help you to govern and secure this channel of communication. But as I said at the outset, yeah, the third takeaway is all about how do you leverage existing investments that you've made as a bank. The most common platform at the moment is Microsoft Teams, and we've been developing our technology to ensure that we can provide native integration with Microsoft Teams. We're the first company ever to do this in this regard. So your user, your community, your employees are using already an approved application of Teams, and through Teams they can now message both internally and externally using our technology. Okay? So, as I said, this is the first time it's ever been done. This is one of our unique components around our Teams integration. But the key three takeaways that I talked about first at the start. Number one, we will provide you with a single pane of glass to enable your employee to communicate to any one of their clients on any platform that your client wants to use. Secondly, we will provide you with an environment that is governed, secure, authentic, and compliant. And thirdly, we will allow you to integrate that into your existing messaging investments, whether that be Microsoft Teams or Slack or many of the other internal collaboration tools that you have already or are planning to deploy, and allow the native functionality of our application to coexist within that environment. Thank you for your time this morning. If you'd like to find out more, please come and see us in the exhibition hall. Thank you very much.